Here we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Beau in the Dark. Oh, I'm gonna see if I can find my chill. Had a hectic bonjour, Trick Light. Hello again. We meet again. How's my audio level for you, Trick Light? I adjusted things again, trying to get it right. Everybody, a lot of people already. Sounds good. If it gets weird, I'll just ask my brain monkeys to handle it. You were very offended by the brain monkeys, weren't you? Thank you, Jeanette. It's a technophile kind of mindset half the time, and then you got to drop it and switch to a different mindset to be ready to go into the art side. So it's definitely back and forth. Let's see if I can make good on that commitment to get this hand in the right place. It's not terrible. Got the right shapes last night. I don't know, sometimes when I come back the next night, I feel like the guy that was doing this last night was somebody else. Like I'm picking up somebody else's work where they left off. Like, who is this guy? Who did that? Oh man, I gotta clean up his mess. Okay. Who's that guy? Switching the Logic's modes, and this is definitely multifaceted what I'm doing here, because then there's the social aspect. We're talking, right? And then there's the working at the same time, making art, talking about art, thinking about technology, switching back and forth. It is definitely a lot of. Just talking to a buddy of mine in LA. He asked me what I was doing. I was telling him I was about to get on here and stream. And he's like, what does that mean? I told him about it a little bit. I said, well, you can check it out. Are you on TikTok? And he's like, no. I said, well, I bet your daughters are. And I think that somehow crossed a line. I think he got really uncomfortable. It's like, my daughters? You want my daughters to watch you on TikTok? Like, it's not really that weird, dude. I will cast this. That is exactly right. In fact, last night, we had a really good conversation I need to follow up on. We were discussing that I might put maybe if I can get it together next week, put together like on the TikTok store, the ability for people to buy it like pre-sales. And then I'll know how many people are interested in buying a resin cast of this or even a bronze cast of this. And then I can, you know, look at that when I'm deciding, you know, the casting process. It's like if I know 50 or 100 people want one, that'll affect how I get it done. Okay, you know what the word liminal space means, so you're already in a completely different demographic. Ripley Wolf Lockhart, that's a badass name. Thank you, appreciate it. How do many pieces will the mold be? How many pieces will this mold be? It totally depends on how I end up doing it. Definitely gonna use silicone because that's gonna save that a lot. Like to do this in a traditional mold, it would be psycho because of all the undercuts, which is why you're asking. I presume why you're asking. Like it just would be prohibitive, you just couldn't do it. I'm thinking I might do a little bit of a unique modern technology / old technology process. I think I might do a 3D scan of it and produce the mold digitally, you know, with a 3D printer. I think that might be the most efficient way. Which would be interesting, right? Old technology, new technology combined in one process. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, silicone these undercuts are, I mean, I just made myself not think about that process while I was doing it. Meanwhile, there was just this little devil in my ear whispering like, I'm gonna get you. You know, you gotta pay the devil his due when it comes time. In this scenario, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get you. When you go to make a mold of this, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. But I think I can get around paying the devil, as it were, in this metaphor with that approach. Thank you. See, that's exactly, people were saying that last night. So what I think I'm gonna do, see if I can get it up as soon as next week, because I'm probably gonna finish this in about a week or so. So I'm gonna try to have like the last week, have a link up, and then people can, you know, get their name on a list or pre-order or whatever. And then that'll kind of help me figure out like how to, you know, amortize the cost to get the process done and all that kind of stuff. So there was somebody on this stream last week that said they owned a 3D print company. She contacted me on DM, so I might reach out to her. Hell, she might be on right now. What does she measure? The size? So interesting enough, I'm 6'5"-ish, and I didn't really feel like sitting around measuring heads and all that, so I kind of cheated. I literally measured, she is literally my proportions, half. So every one of her lengths is half of a 6'5", 240-pound man. Which is interesting. The weight's interesting because I realized, you know, she doesn't have as much, you know, mass around her as I do proportionally, but doing the math, she's about 50 pounds of clay. And I'm like, oh my God, that math totally works out. If she's half my lengths, that means she's 1/4 my mass. If we were, you know, the same figure, she's 50, that would be 200 pounds. I'm closer to 240. That is really interesting observation, how that worked out. Absolutely, Trick Life, get it out. We can do it together. So she's, yeah, probably, if she stood up straight, she's a little over straight. Well, I mean, well, I'll tell you right now, this doesn't have to be a question. I'll tell you, if you want to know the dimensions of this sculpt, from the tabletop to the top of the bird is 24 inches. and then this, she's basically a 24-inch cube, because this board she's sitting on is 24 inches in 2 dimensions. She's 24 inches tall, so the space the sculpture takes up is basically a 24-inch cube. But that's the point of the 3D print, is I can, if I scan it, I can scale it. So I was thinking I'd probably make half-size resin prints. And then that might be a little more accessible for some people. What do you think? Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, I definitely learned something in this process. I haven't been on TikTok very long, but I definitely learned something in this process, which is, yeah, I should have had a link up from the beginning, so that all along, I've been doing this a couple months now, probably right at 2 months, mid-January, beginning of January, February, March, yeah. 2 months I've been doing this, give or take. I took a week off of being sick. I should have had a link up the whole time of, you know, pre-ordering this as we go along. We'll definitely do it on the next one, which I'll be starting, yeah, like I said, like in a week or so. Depending on how long I sit here and fiddle this girl. It's kind of hard to let go, you know? It's like a relationship. Attachment issues. I mean, it's not done yet, for sure. It's not that I'm being really having attachment issues, because it's definitely not done. It definitely needs work. But I can feel it coming, that when the time does come, I'm gonna have to put on my big boy pants and let her go, let her fly and be free. How much would you quote a bronze? See, I don't know. I don't have that answer. I would love to. Basically, I think I'm going to offer 3 things. Well, maybe 4. Either 3 or 4. So a half size, a full size, and in bronze and resin. So maybe 4 offerings if people want it, is what I'd like to do. The bronze is obviously going to be a lot more expensive, because just the metal is expensive, and the casting process, because I'll probably have to do that. I'm not really quite crazy enough at this point to do that myself. I have some local foundries I can use. You like the size I have? Resin is not a bad product for sure. Bronze is cool as hell. Yeah, bronze is kind of probably going to be crazy expensive. I haven't looked at the actual per unit, but it's got to be high. I know steel is high. I was looking at steel for a manufacturing thing the other day. Make some stairs out of steel. It's just the material alone is psycho expensive. Okay, let's get back to the sand. Let's get back to our homework. What we're supposed to be doing. Yeah, it's gonna be hard not to do bronze though, right? Just because it'll be crazy cool. Crazy cool. It doesn't have to happen all at once. Might do the resins first and then come back and offer the bronze. We'll see, it's all exploratory, we're learning. What kind of clay? This is a Roma plastilina clay. Would you like to know my secret though? I had a secret. If you ask nice, I'll tell you my secret. That is, no, I do use, this is not my secret per se, but I do use Aquaphor, and I'll just like put my finger on it and just like use it when I want to basically move the finger quickly, creates a little bit of heat and allows me to smooth things out. That's not the secret. Here's the secret. Where's the camera? Secret. Secret is the blowtorch. What camera you want? Can you see? Yeah. This is the secret. I hit it with a torch and melt the surface while I'm working. And that does a few things. It makes it shiny, like you pointed out. It also lets me see the underlying structure a little different and better in some cases. So I can see what I need to go back and fix because I missed something structurally. And it's just fun as hell to sculpt with heat. Because if you really work it, obviously it melts and it starts hanging, and you're basically sculpting with heat and gravity at that point, and surface tension, and it's cool as hell. It's a little like playing. Like I have to tell myself to stop sometimes because I just want to keep going. It's like, dude, you're not actually making any progress right now. You're just playing. But you know, limited doses. Yeah, it's cool as hell. And some things just need to be perfect. You know, there's certain parts of the body, it's like that just needs to be perfect. It just does. And I'm just not going to get it perfect any other way. As far, you know, then like melting it and let the surface tension of the clay itself equalize and create the surface I'm looking for. So that's my secret. Jojo and Aurora, hello. This is a hot night. All my favorites, new and old. Well, not that you're old or new, but repeats. Welcome, Aurora. Blowtorch or crack here. Don't look. It's naughty. So anyway, now I'm definitely playing again because this is so much fun. I have to make myself stop. I'm good, Aurora. I am good. As my father loves to say, as good as I allow myself to be. Yeah, and sometimes we don't allow ourselves to be too good. Not that I'm speaking for you, but sometimes I. Thank you, Roy. It means a lot to me coming from you. You've got a keen eye. You've always had positive, constructive, good critiques. So I appreciate that. Well, I told you I was thinking about doing sculpting on stream, but I was going to do ZBrush, and you were excited about that. And I was like, you know, I just don't feel like doing ZBrush. Don't feel like sitting in a computer. So here we are. Highway Cowgirl. Answer one question at a time. Name of it is Hand of Fate. That's her name. And do you ever texture paint early surface, or do you always keep it blown out and smooth? I don't paint sculptures. It's not my thing. I mean, I do it digitally because I have to, but in the really real world, no. I like letting the morphology, the shape really come through. I'm just having a hard time right here. I think it's the underlying clay is, I think I use two different consistencies of clay. And so it keeps, I don't know, maybe it's gonna look, maybe it's gonna look cool because it kind of looks like cellulite. Maybe we just got this tiny amount of cellulite in our leg that I'm never gonna get out because of the two different consistencies of clay. Maybe that's gonna make it feel more authentic. It's totally what it looks like now that I think about it. Yeah, I've definitely been doing a lot of analog lately. That I have. Mr. Analog. Sounds like a porno name from the 80s. Analog. Can you please change the music? All right. What? That's interesting. I've never heard a request for that. Oh, there's a Dr. Sketchy's tonight. That's cool. Super cool. You getting wigged out by the tunes? You don't like the doom jazz? Oh man. Switch over to my playlists. How about that, Sandra? Is that more melodic? How long I've been working on her? So I started this January 7th. That's the wrong place. Off and on during that time period. So not consistent, off and on. Got sick for a week and whatever. But I think crazy boy, what was it? Roni did the math last night, and he calculated last night I crossed over 80 hours of time that I put into this. Hello, spandex. Muchas gracias. I'm glad you feel better, Sandra. That's well, I do want everybody to feel equally chill. So if you're not feeling chill, I can smell. I burned some of that clay. I got a little too much fun with the blowtorch. I sound like a torture doctor, don't I? Went to work on my girl with a blowtorch. I had a little too much fun. Now it smells. It's just her. Do I work on? I have not been working on other pieces currently. I've been focusing on her. That being said, I probably will because I'm going to move into the casting and molding stage on this one, so I'll probably start another one during that time, and then come back to this while I get that sorted, and include you guys as I can in that process. If it's of interest to you guys, see how that goes. Like I said, I'm going to start with a digital scan, I think, of it. To work with that medium for. No, it's not too bad. I'm in the basement by myself, and the basement itself is like 2,500 square feet. There's nobody down over me, and I do have a door here I open when it gets too ugly, stinky. Except for I'm in Missouri, and the winters sometimes get to be sub-zero, so that can definitely stink. Texas in the house. Hello, Sandra from Texas. Yes. Again, without the oops. Well, Marcus Aurelius says the obstacles in the path are the path. I think that applies to everything, including sculpture. Oh, good. Aurora. Vatican art. That's right. The Pope should be calling me. We need a new Jesus. Will you help us out? And I hadn't even heard of that. I wonder if the church does anymore. Ever hires anybody to do sculpture anymore. I know local churches would pay a lot of money for stained glass windows and stuff, but I haven't heard about anybody. Paying for new Mary holding Jesus dead kind of sculptures. Like the old Pietà that Michael did back in the day. Oh Cat Daddy. Thank you. And Tanny, thank you. 10-foot painting, Kelly D. See, and this is again, I'm remiss, I don't have the Discord set up because I want to see a 10-foot painting, Kelly. I want to see it. I want you to show it to me. Unless, of course, it would get us banned. Then don't. It's not that kind of party. Thank you, Magic Fern. You know, it's funny because there are literally people, there have been 2 people, you know, and I've literally had 120,000 people in the last month watch, so a lot of people. 2 of those 120,000 said derogatory things like, you're not actually sculpting this, and you're going slow, and like they weren't seeing enough change for them to validate that it was real. And I was just like, wow, that person's gotta look in the mirror and be themselves. Jesus Christ. But it's just, you know, makes me laugh because you're commenting the opposite of the forward accomplishment in the time period since you last saw, which I appreciate. I don't reckon Barcelonofio. Romania. Hello, Romania. I have a good friend. Well, I don't have a good friend. I have an associate that I certainly have positive feelings toward, Tokyo, from Romania. She's in Tokyo now. We know it's true. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting pushed to my limits between doing this. I'm working on a movie, doing visual effects right now. I'm driving kids to soccer and school, and then starting the nightclub gallery. It's like I'm running out of the one more things to fit into the day, you know what I mean? Back in effects. Well, I mean, let's not. Let's not jump to conclusions. My thing that I'm working towards is the gallery. I actually haven't talked to you, I don't think, about it, Aurora, because you haven't been around. You haven't loved me. Yeah, an associate of mine here in Kansas City owns the hottest jazz club in town, and so he called me one day a few months ago and said, hey, come here, come to this address, and I did. And there's this old building downtown, look old as literally over 100 years old. And he's like, yeah, I just got a killer lease on this and I want to make an art gallery nightclub out of it. And he and I partnered, I and one other guy partnered, and we're making a nightclub gallery here in Kansas City. And so I'll be streaming from there 4 nights a week. So I'll have a little bit more support staff. I'll at least have a bartender. Yeah, I probably did talk about it yesterday, Aura. But yeah, I am doing some visual effects during the day as well. A friend of mine makes, she has her own production company. I'm doing some effects for her. Nothing big. No more Toyota. Yes, that is correct. I think actually as of this month, I'm officially not a Toyota employee anymore. No more autonomous cars for Toyota for me. Yes, I thought that was going to be a super cool thing to do, and I got there and realized it was just a corporate job in Tokyo. Highly paid salaryman. Not my gig, not my thing. Oh, thank Thank you, hippie mom. Oh yeah? Richard Toyota, Trick Light. Were you in Tokyo? They are a global company. You could be anywhere, obviously. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Hopefully, Aurora. Someday, sometime, somewhere. This stupid pinky in shape. Stupid pinky. Australia. Oh yes, we covered this. I think you talked to us before. You are in Australia, right? Who's that girl that I follow in Australia? Not that I'm assuming you know her. That's a bit ridiculous. But there is this Australian artist I follow. She does these she does these what do you call hyperreal. Basically, she must be smoking a little marijuana because she sits there and stares at these things for frickin' ever. Then again, I'm doing that right here. Anyway, she does these drawings of herself, portrait photography she takes of herself, making funny faces into a fisheye lens. And, they kind of look gothy. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. I guess hers with an M. I don't know. Anyway, she's in Australia. I'm off on that diatribe simply because you said Australia. I follow her on Instagram. If you are following me on Instagram, you can find her. I think it's like, she's got a name it's impossible to remember. That's why I can't. It's like Munez something. It's not clever and easy to remember like Beau in the dark. So what kind of art have you made today, Tricklight? Tell me about your adventures bold. Lasagna with meatballs, dude. That is if you made that from scratch, that's an art form. Good golly. I never cooked. Not my thing. Like, it just wasn't a place where I found my investment of time until COVID, and then I'm stuck at home with 3 at that point young children who have to eat every day, and none of the normal rat race elements in my life that I was accustomed to. So I'm gonna make a bold statement. Not that I'm saying it was good, but I made ratatouille. Yeah, I spent like 8 hours on dinner. Organize a home base, yeah. Sounds like you may have moved recently. Definitely sounds like you're in a life transition mode. So I hope you find that peace. Feeling good about where you go to sleep and feeling good about where you wake up. Pretty damn important. On the road for 2 years, good golly. Were you a musician, right? I think that's what you said. That's probably living on the roads because you're a musician. Jeff, somebody or another just joined from the videos. That's funny because I don't post very many videos, so that feels like an accomplishment. Yes, also started doing Reiki energy work, supporting local communities Okay, well, I mean, this is gonna sound weird. Might sound a little like a weirdo proposition. Not really. But my wife is, she works in mental health. She's gotten all into the Reiki and such. Now this is, I'm in the States. But she's always looking for collaborators, a way to work with people. She's gotten all into that. Metaphysics is a metaphysic. Noun, adjective, or verb. Metaphysic. I'm liking this light as well. Let's see what I can do. Does that blow that out for you guys? Doesn't seem like it. Seems like it's all right. And some harsher shadows. Are you a Aleister Crowley fan? Somebody quoted Aleister Crowley in here a few weeks ago. Blew my mind. Like, really? Was it you? I can't remember. Might have been you. Funny shoes. Jungian study, nice. And yes, I've been in a lot of those communities. In those communities. Those dirty, dirty communities. Well, this is the Vino community. Crowley is controversial in those spaces. Yeah, well, he definitely doesn't fit the modern MO of spiritualism. He's very icky. He's icky by modern standards. I wouldn't say I was a huge Aleister Crowley fan, but I definitely enjoyed some of his stuff. Was it Magic Without Tears? I have that book. Whether or not you really dig on him, I felt like he had a handful of quotes that are like, well, that's just good. That's just gold. That's just undeniable right there, that quote. Like his definition of what is magic is the art and science of making our environment conform to our will. It's like, that's just good stuff right there. Because it defines it in a very accessible way, you know? It's like, okay, well, what I'm doing right now is magic, right? I'm making my environment conform to my will on multiple levels, right? The physical space, I'm making something. The virtual space, I'm interacting with you. Magic fern. Next time you're live, my toddler just woke up, so you are off. You have responsibilities. Yeah, I'll be here. I won't be here tomorrow night. I've got to fly to LA. But I'll be back on Monday. Oh, sit in the dark. Ah, yes. You were growing from Beau in the dark to child in the dark. I hope you named your child Gotham, so that you can say, Gotham needs me. I just like that. Good evening, Lady Maya. My planet has to lead in. Have you read about, I don't know anything about Crowley's wife. I didn't know he was married, honestly. I thought he was more of a, you know, polyamorous type of fella. I didn't know he was married at all. You have outclassed me in your Crowley knowledge base. You live on Gotham Street. All right. So, like, when it's trash day, you can say, Gotham needs me. And it's not a very heroic thing, but if that's what gets you out of bed in the morning to get the trash out before the trash man comes. Gotham needs me. Thank you, Lady Maya. Rose Edith Kelly. She had a lot to do with his work and didn't get much credit. Well, I'm not really much of a stand on the pulpit kind of guy, but I love me some, you know, the Rosa Bonheurs of history. Hell yeah, big fan. Camille Claudel, big fan. You know, those unsung female heroes, that's what I'm getting at. I don't enjoy modern sexual politics conversationally, because I don't like the direction it's gone, but historically, I love me some of those amazing figures that did great work, right? Foundational. Hello, Rona. So no, that little diatribe will really be saying I will look her up, I'll read about her. The Eleanor Roosevelts of the world, as it were. I mean, in this part of the world, everyone's heard of, oh my God, I still never forgot her name. The female pilot that's from this part of the world. Oh, for Christ's sake. Tried to fly around the world and died, who disappeared. Anyway, she's from here. She's from where I am right now. You know, those are the popularized ones, but I'd like, you know, you can't remember everything, and I forget a lot, but there's this one particular one in history that I don't know her name, but she was a woman in England that somehow learned jiu-jitsu, and she taught it to other women because England had just passed the law that women could vote, but the police were actively obstructing women from getting to the voting booths. So this woman learned jiu-jitsu and taught other women jiu-jitsu so that they could get to the voting booth. And I'm like, okay, modern day pretend to be activists are just got nothing compared to her. That woman's awesome. It's awesome. But I can't remember it. Amelia Earhart, thank you. Yes, Jesus Christ, I was having a senior moment, or a too much wine moment, or both. Yeah, we're doing our best to chill. I got a negative vote from Sandra. I think she took off on us. She didn't like the music, so I had to chill it out for her. I think it was one of the anxiety jazzes was getting to her. That was funny. Is that Chardonnay? It is not. This is a red blend. Cabernet Sauvignon, red blend. Nothing too exciting. It's not a special night. I'm not having a special. But I tell you what, it's gonna get weird when I start streaming from the club, because I'm gonna have full access to a bar, and I don't know if that's good or not. Although my partner brought up the idea of getting sponsored by, like, you know, a Beau supplier for my stream. I'm like, oh my God. It better be either Blanton's, Lafroig, or Lagavulin. Know what I mean? This is interesting, just changing the lights shows me a lot more. I need to change the lights more often and see things I couldn't see. Like that line from Big Trouble in Little China. I can see things no one else can see. Why are you dressed like that? You know what I might do? I might do that. Thank you. We were talking, my brain's back to the thinking about people wanting to buy this. Hey, I'll just, you know what, maybe I'll do. I was thinking about setting up, Roni, or if you're there, I don't know if we were talking about this last night. I can't remember. I don't know what comes out of my mouth and it's just bouncing on my head like a ping pong ball, but I was thinking I might set up the store to take pre-sales on people who want to buy casts of this. And you know, just put the link on the show on the stream here. And thank you. Oh yeah, this is one of my paintings on my shirt. Where's the camera right now? Can you see it? Walk around here. Can you see it from there? Yeah, you can barely see it. You'll see it in another camera angle. This is a painting I did. That's correct. I love this shirt. Big fan. Forgot what I was talking about. Oh, setting up like a pre-order site for this thing, and then gauging how many people are actually interested in buying it to facilitate the production. You know what I mean? Right? But I was thinking about the reason this is popping in my head, because I was digging around in undercuts thinking this is going to be an impossible, or at least very difficult to mold, that I might do a 3D scan of it, which would allow me to change the scale as well and do a digital print. Which would effectively look the same, just different size. And then you could, you know, it's like you wanted to get a small one, put it on your desk, type of thing. If it's giving you bliss, if it's giving you, you know, something good during your stressful times, you can look down and see her. That's gonna, especially if you told me about it. If you came back on the stream and told me about it, Like, yeah, I was gonna have a meltdown at work, and I looked down at our girl here, and it got me through the day. I mean, that's honestly, if you were to actually go back and talk to my wife about what I've been saying since I started this whole process of streaming, that's really what it was about. Is can I facilitate people to have an experience that they can recall during their day? Well, thank you, Dee. Trick lights in. Everybody seems to think this is. I was actually half expecting you guys to verbally abuse me for this idea, for the idea of combining digital with practical, or with traditional. And nobody has said anything negative about that idea. Okay, interesting. Well, it might just be my internal voice that doesn't, that takes issue. Spent my entire life working digital. So this experience being not digital is, of course, very cathartic. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, well, you and Haley, Roni, you and Haley both were the ones that were like, yeah, 3D's the way to go. But I guess, I don't think I completed my thought. I'm trying to think about the production process, how I'm gonna produce this thing. I'm like, you know what? If enough people say they want a 3D print of this, it's like, well, okay, let's let people pre-buy it, and then I'll buy a 3D printer. And then I'll just sit here and print these things and ship them to you guys. I don't even need a manufacturer, not for a short run anyway. I mean, if there's like a dozen or 20 or what, even 50 of you people who want one, then maybe I'll just do a run here, right? Let's skip over to Angelo Badalamenti. I love this guy. Yeah, the molding on this is gonna be an ugly thing. So it would be prudent. Because I just totally threw caution to the wind as I was working. Didn't even think about, intentionally, didn't think about that process. They actually have metal printers. That would be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. It'd be very interesting to look into doing a bronze 3D print. Then I just have if basically enough of you people that, it's weird that I say you people, that's not cool. If enough of you are interested, and that covers the cost of buying a nice 3D printer, then it's really just time and materials, which aren't that much. I don't have to, my point is I won't have to be sitting there thinking about what's my overhead cost. And if I find a manufacturer in China or something, like that's all kinds of pain in the harness. Not to mention there'll be a tariff. Okay, let's get back to the point. You know what, let's have some fun. I love this bird. Oh, nice. Tricklight, you're doing it. You're making a new life for yourself. That's what you're doing, right? I love it. Obviously, I don't know your details, but I love you're a person manifesting a new life. I could definitely get that from what you've said here. It sounds like you've had a gnarly couple years, and you're in the process of manifesting a new life. love it. I am too. I've had an early 2 years. Actually, we're on this, Tricklight, you and I are on the same path. Yeah, the printer, the shoe. So if enough people want to buy it that it covers the cost of the printer, then I'm really just talking about time. And I'm sitting here working all day, every day anyway. I'm either lifting weights or I'm working on a computer. I'm here every day. We're doing this. I could even run in the background while I'm running the stream. So my time is not the issue. It's just the materials and shipping. That gets it where I want to be, which is something that's not cost prohibitive because I want to get this piece out there into the world. You know what I mean? This feels like an answer. Look into this. Obviously, it's got to be really damn good quality. Otherwise, I'm gonna not like my life choices. It's not gonna work. It was a Ukrainian, I think, product that was, last time I researched this, it was the best. That orange one. Anybody out there know what I'm talking about? This hand is still a mess. I need to get a chair so I can just get comfortable down there and work on those fingers. Because I'm never gonna be happy if I don't. Knife needs work. All needs work. Get up here and play with her smooth areas for a minute. Make me feel better about myself because the hand needs effort. It is interesting changing the light. I see everything very different. They only got to change the life metaphor. You're going to change the light so that you can see, just like you, Tricklight. You're going to change the light so you can really see. Otherwise, you're fooling yourself in the shadows. And it's getting heavy right here. Got to change the light so that you can really see. Otherwise, you're fooling yourself in the shadows. Dude, that sounds deep. Is that deep? I think that was deep. I know if it's not deep. Romy's over there typing something right now telling me I'm not deep. Or he's researching the philosopher that said it before me. Printers? No, I'm not doing a basic 3D printer. I'm definitely gonna spend more than that. Whatever, like, I need to be like microns. I need like tiny microns. Yeah, well, thank you. You know what, like I say, art doesn't exist as clay or paint or anything else. Art exists in the person that's consuming it. So you're being appreciative. You're saying awesome things like poet and Renaissance and sculptor, but none of that exists. I don't exist as an artist. I mean, in the cyber, in the reality of the fact that I'm streaming, I don't exist at all to you until you are present to consume me. Sounded a little weird, but you consuming the art, you consuming the philosophy and the poetry, that is what makes it be real. It doesn't exist if you're not participating. So this is me actually reflecting it back on you. Thank you for being here and participating. That is what makes this work. Like, seriously, I mean that. Like, I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't getting the fantastic feedback. I mean, I don't know, I would probably be doing something because I need this for my own catharsis, but, I'd just be just old weird dude cussing in the dark. Moderately insane old white guy. Which is not a good look. That's not an attractive look. How would Mrs. Beau feel about us consuming you? It's getting allegorical up in here. Munch, munch, munch. Oh, I don't think she generally understands what the hell I'm talking about, but she's gotten very accustomed to not letting it bother her. I'll say that. The devil is doing that knife at some point. So that's not perfect in geometric. I'm not going to be happy. Lady painting, which one? What can you see in the background? Is it the redhead or the Medusa or the black and white drawing? I like all of them, actually. Medusa is usually the one people like the most. Well, that's the thing, Roni, is that I know that, like, I have to do that. That's how I operate. It's like, okay, the thing I don't, like the bird. I didn't want to do the bird forever, and I'm not done with the bird, but it's definitely, it's in the top, my top affinity points on this piece. I do like it. And I was very slow to get into it. So at some point you got to make your weakness your strength. So yes, the knife is going to be the thing I jump into at some point where I'm just like, okay, I'll do whatever it takes to make myself love this knife. But yeah, all of these drawings and paintings are on my profile. If you want to see them, you can get a better view of them. If you really like them, you can get prints of them. That's your jam. That is nice and easy. Like I've got that all wired up with Printful, and they deliver worldwide and works pretty well. The quality is fantastic. I'm pretty impressed with that. There isn't any kind of service provider like that for 3D prints, but the print quality from Printful is really pretty impressive. I might have to contribute to your desire not to do the bird. Yeah, I don't even know how to interpret that. You telling me not to do the bird, or is there some other aspect of that point you're making? Honestly, I like the way it is, all messy and gooey. I'm not going to do much with the bird. I'm going to do the face. I'm going to pull details of the face. And I might just diddle. Some of the flame stuff, just for the abstract funness of it. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot more on the bird. It's not like a sore point right now. I kind of like it. This is a weird area right here. You've got multiple muscles overlapping in different directions. And then you have over the top of bones. So you got bones that are crossing. You've got muscles that are crossing over the bones, not parallel. Then you've got the vascularity of the circulatory system crossing over in a different direction. So this is all, you can make it smooth, but you still have to capture that contradictory patterns, crossing patterns. I just realized I did something. I gave her not big forms, but I gave her forms that are actually shaped kind of like mine, which come from years of deadlift, which is on purpose because it reminds me of like my grandma or like old women when I was a kid, women that grew up Depression era and had a lifetime of hard labor. You know, it might have been hard labor doing domestic chores, but back then domestic chores were like, you know, she was a gardener and she fed the family. She was basically a domestic farmer. And so anyway, my grandma would have this, you know, woman body, but then she'd just have these forearms that were like a frickin' sailor. And this woman still has thin limbs. I don't feel like I broke that overall syncopation with the rest of the body, but just looking at this forearm, I'm like, this looks a little bit like my forearm, which might have been a subconscious thing for me. You know, kind of having a thing for strong women. Ah, I see what you're saying, Ronnie. Yes, you are the villain. Villain. Romeo, thou art a villain. Well, you can probably guess what that's from because I said the name, but does anybody know who said it? I know Romy's doing a web search right now. Thou art a villain. Montego. That was Mercutio. You were close. Mercutio in Romeo and Juliet. Not Mercutio. No. Mercutio was the cousin. It was Tybalt. Tybalt said that in Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, I was liking where the smirk ended up too. It was one of those good finds. Like I try to put it in there with crude gestures and masses, and then when I put the heat on it, it just, the buoyancy of the surface continuity of the material just really blended right in exactly where I wanted it to. And where's the camera? If you look at this side, it kind of looks like a sadness. And on this side, back to that camera, it's a grin, which is intentional. Three years, is that supposed to impress me? I haven't actually read Romeo and Juliet in 30 years. Seriously, dude, it's been 30 years since I've read Romeo and Juliet. A lot of random facts floating around in this head. It is weird how the years add up, but you know, you don't really change. Well, that's not true. You do change. I don't know what I'm saying right now. It's interesting because sometimes it does feel like I have memories of someone else's life. It's not even me. Wow. Nice trick light. It's the vino. Whatever it is, it's the vino. What kind of rewards can I give on TikTok. I know there's all kinds of words like on Twitch and stuff, but like, I'm just thinking, I'm back to the idea of thinking about the people that want to pre-order sculpts. And I'm just like, it's kind of like at that point, it's kind of like a GoFundMe or what do you call it? Patreon or something, where like, you know, you guys, if you order it, if enough of you order, I'll buy this expensive printer and then I'll give you guys the high quality print, right? But then that's like, it's kind of like a property of us, right? It's a property of us collectively, because the next sculpture, if anybody wants that, you know, that will be, we'll use the same printer. And I'm just like, is there something of value to people to be like given kudos or public recognition on TikTok, so that like some, you know, a new follower comes in next month and they're like, oh, I want a 3D print. And it's like, yeah, these people are the ones that participated in the initial process. You know what I mean? Special role and permissions for anyone pre-order. Yeah, there you go, that's one thing, sure. Discord membership privileges. Links to the Discord, okay. Okay, so is there subscriptions on TikTok like there are on Twitch? Is that how it works? Is that what you're saying to me? I didn't know that. What the hell I'm doing? On Twitch, yeah. A lot of people use Patreon too. Well, Patreon would then be kind of agnostic, right? Because it's not TikTok specific. It's only per month. That's weird. Huh. All right, well, so you guys know what you're talking about. You guys tell me, like, what do you think I should do? What works, what would be appealing to you? Like a membership thing, a reward thing, a special access thing. Like I could actually, like if you guys like the paintings, part of the reward could be digital access to the paintings. Like you guys could download the high-res originals. If you wanted to, you know, for screenshots, or if you wanted to print them yourself, that could be a reward for being part of the cool clubs. Use Discord for community. See, I haven't gotten into that yet. I mean, I have a Discord, but I haven't gotten into the community aspect of it. It's all rather staggering. I mean, I didn't know anything about any of this, you know, 9 months ago. I started streaming on Twitch last September and didn't really start on TikTok until a couple of months ago, really at the beginning of this project. Really, this is my first project, honestly. On TikTok. I'm gonna change the music. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the need. I don't know, I want to listen to all that. Where are we at? Let's pick something new. Freshly squeezed? Why not? Oh, it's Twin Peaks. Well, you can't go wrong with Twin Peaks. I choose the artist I want to support. Because of that, I get exclusive offers. It sounds like Patreon might be the way to go. I just thought, little lady, her name is Linda, and we're in a club, and we pay her monthly. Oh, don't know what you're saying. That sounds like a schizophrenic poem, a schizophrenic haiku. Read that seriously out of context. It's like a schizophrenic haiku. I thought, little lady, her name is Linda, and we're in a club, and we pay her monthly. That is total, like, jazz style poetry club night. and we pay her monthly. Slam poetry, exactly. Haiku slam. I'm gonna copy that and use it for something. I thought, little lady. That's gold. Dude, I could not get the cellulite off of her butt. I can tell by the color discoloration that there are two types of clay there. And that's what's causing the problem. But it's just funny that it's right on her butt that there's this cellulite shape that won't go the hell away. I need to shave it down a little bit and then put a thin layer of this other clay on top. Don't apologize. That may be the highlight of my night. What was your haiku? The Discord could have a link to the Patreon. So you're saying that the commerce aspect would be on Patreon, but the social aspect would be on Discord? Is that your suggestion, Arnie? Patreon handles the link to Discord. Hello, Aaron. Thank you for coming. Yes, and Discord would have roles to show who's bought Patreon or reordered. So Patreon for the commerce, Discord for the social, is what I'm hearing. And what did we just say? So the Patreon links to the subscription-based or privilege-based type subscriptions on Discord. I think is what I'm hearing. And that links to, so when you subscribe, when you transact on the Patreon, that gives you access to the Discord. And that's so like when people are sitting on the stream and they're like, how come they're looking at each other's artwork and I can't? It's because they're not in the Cool Kid Club. Because you guys are part of the cool kids who've gone through that process. You have that access. So we're all sharing artwork on Discord, which is a privilege-based access or multi-tier, so different levels of access or something. So like y'all that are like, yeah, I want a sculpture, you're in the special cool kids sculpture club. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get aggressive with this butt. I gotta get aggressive on this butt. Where's my bigger brush? This is gonna frustrate the hell out of me if I don't fix it. There we go. So it would mean people lose Discord? You lost me there. I already run a Facebook maximalist group with 1.7 million followers. Meow. I want to be on all of them. All right, Lady Maya. You're gonna have to come back and work with me next week while I figure this out. Well, we all are, everyone. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. But if TT ban happens, it's better to go with Patreon. That's an extremely good point, Tricklight. Because we're kind of ignoring the fact that the elephant in the room is that we're all on borrowed time right now. I'm having a much more response and experience on TikTok than any other platform. I mean, YouTube's almost like non-existent, honestly. I stream to it, but it's mostly for archival reasons. I mean, I don't even watch the chat. When people do chat, I miss it. I mean, maybe there's something I can do different. I don't know. But I'll get 20, 30 people views or whatever over the course of 24 hours on YouTube, and get 12,000 on TikTok. It's like, oh, okay. I'm not reaching anybody on YouTube. This is a waste of time. Other than the archival quality of it's awesome. In Instagram, I'm not really, I was streaming live on Instagram just to see if it was supporting the live like TikTok was, and honestly, it didn't. I went to the trouble of setting up the text so that it would stream synonymously to the same thing to Instagram that it was streaming to TikTok. And the first night, some of my friends, or the first few nights, some of my friends on Instagram showed up, but it was not promoting it to, like on TikTok, the for your recommendation thing, 0 of that on Instagram. So as far as, getting to meet new people like we are, TikTok has been by far the best. Just kind of went on a diatribe there. Thank you, Dark Some Night. Lost Viking Metals Wasabi. I'm being rated with 18 people on Twitch. Goodness gracious, I gotta take a breath mint or something. How y'all doing? Any jazz artist I listens to? He's not specifically a jazz artist. The first one that comes to mind is Angelo Badalamenti, just because he did all of David Lynch's work. Love it. Guy named Faustos I found on YouTube, and I'm digging the shit. This might actually be his right now, I don't know. Digging the hell out of him. I mean, the classics, the Miles Davis and all, it's like, I don't know, they don't really work for me. I like the really experimental jazz. I don't like vocals in my jazz. I like the experimental, like really, let's forget all the rules kind of jazz. Maximalist design. I will check that out for sure. Takes a village, yes. Oh, Hellcat, hello. Neptune. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. We're in definitely a total time of chaos right now with our leadership situation. So I don't think social media is the #1 concern on anybody's political mind right now. And if anything, it's really up to the decision makers at TikTok, because Congress passed the law that essentially made it illegal. The Biden administration specifically said they were not going to prosecute, yet the TikTok business decision makers are the ones that decided to take it down. So it was not a legislative thing. They just chose to take it down. So it'll be interesting what they choose to do in 2 more months. A month and a half, whatever it is. But that is a really good argument, back to the point from earlier about doing it on Patreon. Is better than TikTok for that reason. That makes sense. Freaking lumps off her butt. Are you still there, Lost Viking Metals? I have a metal question. Maybe you'll know, I don't know. I don't know. Have I frozen on Squeezle on Twitch? That's what he's saying. I think it's still up. Of course, how would I know? I'm not over there. Give this a spin. Yeah, it looks like I'm up on my end. Looks like I'm up on, I don't know. Shadow banning got out of control. Yeah, shadow banning. I got banned repeatedly on TikTok for this girl. They weren't liking her boobies. They give me a lot of grief. They've stopped, but I got a lot of grief over this girl's boobs for a while. I'm assuming boobs. I don't know. Maybe TikTok's a butt ban. I don't know. Whatever it is, I got sexually harassed by TikTok over this girl repeatedly. Twitch used to sexually harass me for drawings, for paintings. All right, I'll see the second metal man. Jesus Christ, I can't get the lumps out of this thing. Especially now that I get this new light. I had a soft light before and the bulb went out and I think I was hiding. I didn't realize I was hiding in the shadows. As we talked earlier, trick light. It means I was missing some things. Hiding in the shadows. Shadow knows. Hey, Tay. If you have an agent, what the hell's an agent? You mean like Agent Smith from Matrix? What do you mean agent? So, man, is there some whole other thing I don't know about now? They're all hitting me up with knowledge. I get hit up with those people all the time on, direct messaging saying, do you need support? I figured that was all a scam. The big creators. Well, what's a big creator? Give me a number so that I have a goal. I'm a power lifter by hobby. I like number goals. Give me a number goal. What's a number goal for you're a big fish? Not to mention my kids like it. When I drive to school in the morning, kids like seeing like how many people followed me last night kind of thing. While we're driving to school. A million followers and upwards. Jesus H. Christ. It's a big number. All right, I'm peaking on, I'm coming up on 5,000, I think. Got a bit to go. Bit of mods, yeah. So in that case, what are you doing? When you're modding someone with 800,000 followers, what's your job? What do you do? Yeah, block and mute. I've only muted or blocked one person. It was one really just antagonistic person, and it was it only took 3 comments, and I'm like, yeah, you're antagonistic. I'm playing with you, and I blocked him. But out of the 120,000 people that have watched me in the last month, there's only 2 that were even antagonistic at all, and I only blocked one of them. Kid koala. I'll check that out. Promote. So if you promote, does that mean on your personal account you're promoting them? Is that what that means? Or on another account anyway? Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, so yeah, Roni's basically my de facto mod. He at least tells me when I'm doing something wrong. You need to pay attention to something. Or answers questions. He definitely has answered a lot of questions. How long did this take you? The ones I've answered many times. All right, moment of truth. We're gonna heat up our butt and see if it's smooth. It's the exciting part. Maybe. Maybe. Close. Almost got the weird shapes out of her butt cheeks. A pain in the butt, literally. You know, looking at the way this is moving, I definitely realized that while I made this up, definitely like the people that I talk about, whether Rodin or Camille Claudel, like those people that worked in bronze, they definitely did this. Like the way the texture that I'm seeing is like, yeah, looks like Camille Claudel. She definitely used heat when she was sculpting. Just the way it sits, yeah, it is getting there. I almost have the smooth butt cheeks. Almost have the weird bumps out of her. A little more effort into that, a little bit. Well, yeah, I assumed that if we're talking about mods, that someone's either like a really good friend, or it's, you know, just doing it for the fun of it, or it's someone you know has to get paid. The getting paid would be like, in my opinion, that's a executive position, so it'd be like a percentage or something, but there has to be, you know, something to cut up first. I'm not making, I think TikTok tells me you made $4 last night on your stream kind of stuff. Neptune Discord about getting us paid. Okay, you got this whole community I don't even know about. I got so many layers of not knowing what's going on. I mean, obviously I've been on Discord for the last 10 years, but not like you guys. I'm totally tourist. compared to you guys. I don't know, I might leave her butt alone. I might leave that level of lumpiness stay. You know, kind of makes it feel real. Fame of it, that sounds a bit desperate. Aurora's back, hello. Yeah, I've only been doing the TikTok thing here for a couple months, so whatever. I don't know, 5,000, am I approaching 5,000, low 4,000 something, in like, basically since January, this sculpture. Really, it's just this sculpture. I don't know that I did anything on much of any substance on TikTok before that. Jesus. Oh, that's rough. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, did I miss the heyday? Is the heyday over? Did I miss it? Was I slow to the punch on this one? It's the top corner of the stream, but not the FYP. Okay, I lost me again. You think coming in at the end was a power move? All right, interesting take. Coming at the end. Yeah, I don't know that I like the word end. Is it over? Did we miss the show? Is it over? I kind of felt that way on Twitch, honestly. Oh, Lost Vikings back, by the way. Good to see you, man, if you're still there. I haven't totally missed you. Sounds like you had a catastrophic Windows failure. Yeah, the community that I found on Twitch was awesome. Like Mr. Viking Metals, awesome. But definitely not, the platform itself didn't seem to be supporting nearly as much as TikTok does. Who is watching like in here? Yeah. Oh, can I see? I can see the names of the people in the room if that's what you're asking, yeah. There's only 16 people right now. You know, one thing I learned that was interesting when I was getting tagged with sexual content, every time I would get tagged, I would just shut down the stream and restart it. So like 3 times a night. So I would do 3 one-hour streams basically. And that definitely, I had a lot more new followers because I think TikTok starts you at the top and you go down from there. Whereas like Twitch, you start at the bottom and you gotta fight your way up. TikTok's the other way around. So if I wanted more followers, I would just stop the stream like every 30 minutes. And I would be getting a hell of a lot more exposure. I just don't want to lose you guys, right? Because now we've got this community going. I don't want to constantly be hanging up the phone on you and saying to you, oh, I'd rather strangers show up than continue to dialogue with you. Like, that's not cool. So I don't do that, but I'd be getting like a hell of a lot more. If my metric of success was number of followers, I'd be getting a lot more if I restarted the stream every, X interval. I learned that because it kept labeling me with sexual content. And so I would restart when I did. Well, I mean, even you're like, oh, I've got 50 people in the room with me. It's like, you can't just be hanging up the phone on 50 people. It's messed up, man. People came in here to see you. They've been hanging out for an hour or whatever. It's messed up. I'm just thinking this woman has depression era farm wife forearms, like I was talking about earlier. Thank you, Jojo. I appreciate it. Oh, is that how it works? They're watching from there for your recommendation or for your whatever it is, and now somebody just shared the living hell out of me. Thank you. Appreciate it. I mean, ultimately, like, I'm not doing all this just for the sake of like self-promotion. I mean, it's cool. It's freaking cool, but I'm not really doing it for self-promotion aspects or even for personal gain. I'm doing it for the experience of being here with you guys, big one, and you know, getting. I mean, it sounds a little, you know, maybe a little high and mighty, but really getting the message out. You know, I think the "Have You Made Art Today" message, and talking about what art is and how we're all making art, or can make art on a daily basis, and how that can significantly improve our world, is like literally, I think I could run for office based on "Have you made art today?" I think I could become a politician based on "Have you made art today?" And the reason being, you know, as I've said before, I'm sorry if I'm boring people who've heard it before, but you know, the "Have you made art today" is important because when you're in art, when you make something, when you're a maker rather than a taker, when you make something every day, 1 hour a day, arts and crafts, whatever it is, you make something, then you have respect for the thing that you made. And if you have respect for the thing you made, then you have respect for the things other people made, right? Completely changes your engagement mechanism in your mind from being a taker to being a maker. I'm a maker, not a taker. Think of our politicians, our leaders, even our freaking CEOs had 1 hour of arts and crafts every day. Would just change. It's not quantifiable. It's not a quantifiable thing like, oh, this is going to do this. It's going to change everything. Because decisions will be made based on a constructive attitude that will be inherent versus a taking, consumerism attitude. So the "Have you made art today" isn't just trivial. It's, like I said, I think I literally could run for office using that phrase. Nice, Trick Light. You and I have a lot of serendipity. I appreciate it. Kind of went up on a diatribe there, so I missed some of the comments, but thank you. Yeah, this is plastilina, oil-based clay. All right, let's get back to the homework assignment for the day, which was this hand. I've kind of gone off on all these other tangents. Let's see where we are with hand. That would be an amazing future, by the way. I don't know if anybody like follows like Les. Oh, for Christ's sake, can't think of his name now. God damn it. The artificial intelligence researcher that does a lot of interviews with famous people. Oh my God, booze might be getting in my head. Les, whatever his name is. Anyway, he gets to interview a lot of really important people. You know, and he doesn't have qualifications. He's a researcher he's an AI researcher, and he just started this YouTube cast. Anyway, my point is, like, I could totally see, like, that would be amazing. That would be an amazing future, is to basically be leading art class for politicians, right? Let's do an interview with politicians and get them making art together, right? That would be some next level fantastic. Lex Friedman, that's what I was trying to say. Lex Friedman, AI researcher. That would be some fantastic turnout. I mean, it's in God's hands. I don't know what to do. I'm just doing what I'm doing. I don't think Lex knew what he was doing, and he ended up being where he is. So, you know, I'm just doing my thing. But I could see my thing turning into, let's start interviewing, you know, big decision makers. It doesn't have to be politicians, you know. And let's get them making arts and crafts, and let's get them talking about their creative process. And let's see what happens because of it, you know? Dance battles. Okie dokie. That's a whole different show. I feel like the Asian guest might win that one, based on my experience in Tokyo. Oh, Nicole. Yes, this has been a hot topic. What I'm going to, where this is going to go. Yeah, we're talking about resin. We're talking about metal alloys like bronze. I've been working on this. If Romy's still on, I'm sorry he hasn't jumped in already. I started this January 7th, according to the cleric. Yeah, so it's going to be gnarly if I go with traditional casting, that is for sure. A lot of undercuts here. A lot of ugly, ugly undercuts that would ruin my life. So that's why I'm considering doing that. And I might actually produce product with a 3D printer. And we were talking about taking pre-orders from people. And using that money from a pre-order to buy a really good 3D printer. And instead of even casting or molding at all. Well, so I could still do lost wax for the alloys, because I could print it in wax. Right, and I could scan this and make a wax positive from a 3D printer. And then pour plaster around that and heat it up and do the lost wax approach. So that is totally doable as well. So the more I talk about this, the more I'm talking myself into the 3D print side. "83 hours. Ronnie's hilarious. What do you use for a base? Are you talking about like mechanically? So, where's the camera? The armature is made of this. This 5/16 steel. All of her skeleton is made up of that. So she's not going anywhere. She's bolted here to her toe and here in this cloth, bolted to this 1-inch thick plywood. I added this 1/4 inch here because the bird got way out of control, bigger than I intended it to. That is Romy's fault. It's all his fault. So I added that. So this will get removed for the final. This squeezle here will. Romy knows what's up. Is the hair flames? Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to backtrack what that conversation was. I mean, there's nothing definitive. There's nothing real. This is all clay. None of this is real. I'm not a real person. It's not real hair. Not real flame. But I definitely sculpted the hair in a way that was indicative of the bird and a flame. That was not accidental or incidental or any other dentals. There were no dentals there. That was what the intention was. Rising from the ashes, exactly. Why the knife? Oh, Aurora, come on. You know what? I want you to tell me, not because there's a right answer and I'm testing you, because I actually would love to hear your interpretation. Think, just all the elements on the table. Right, we've got this female figure floating in space. She's in a receptive stature. She's receiving this bird unto herself, right? The bird is coming to her willingly. She's receiving it. She's definitely got a positive, generally positive, a little sad on one side, a little happy on the other, but definitely not in any way a rejection of this landing. She's receiving her bird. And then there's the, like someone just pointed out, the hair and the bird are produced in a similar fashion. So there's obviously, is she the bird? Is the bird her? Are they one and the same? And the phoenix represents reincarnation, rebirth, manifestation, right? But, as you pointed out, she is holding a knife. So I don't really want to tell you what it means to me, but, this isn't, well, I mean, she's a warrior, sure, but this isn't really a warrior's knife. This is a knife that you would use to sacrifice something, right? It's curved, cut its throat more easily. It's not a weapon per se. This isn't a weapon. You wouldn't go into war with this. So I don't know. Do you have feedback, Aurora? Well, I didn't want to lead you down this with breadcrumbs to where it takes me, because I wanted to hear your interpretation. But yeah, for me, this is her about to sacrifice her phoenix. Right? It's her phoenix, and the phoenix is her. And in so doing, she's going to self-actualize. For me, this is a self-actualization piece. This is about manifesting herself in her next incarnation. So it's kind of a suicide, but really it's a sacrifice of self to manifest the next version of self. Which I had heard a psychologist describe that if his patients that were suicidal. It's like very rarely does anyone really want to die. They want to restart. They want to kill what's happening now, and they want to kill who they are now. What they really want to do is manifest a new beginning. And I like that interpretation. The idea that this is at least I'm running with it here. This is a self-manifestation thing. Yeah, final form, no. Continuous, evolving form, absolutely. The next form, I would say. Rather than say final, I would say next form. There's always another, right? There's always going to be another one. This is the next form that she's evolving into. Opposite to come together to expand into new spaces. I don't disagree. Wait a minute, that might be Crowley right there. Is that a Crowley reference? Definitely metaphysical. My wife texted me this morning about something going on in the astrology, basically saying my next couple days are gonna suck ass. Leading to a Friday morning, everything being okay. I'm like, okay, well, it's good to know. Good to know the stars know my shit's about to suck. I suppose it's just incidentally sucking. The inner child being protected. Sure. Well, that's the whole thing. I don't want to necessarily dictate what it is, because anybody that wants to get one of these, put it on their desk, it's got to have a personal meeting, or put it in their house, put it in their home, experience it. And that's what I want to hear. I want to hear about those personal meanings, right? My meaning, even if you agree with my meaning, your meaning is still not going to be exactly my meaning. So I don't want to give dictation or dictum on what it is. We are over suffering. Let's fly. Darling, you and me both. I'm with you. I think you and I might have, I don't know what you would call it, but some form of parallel process. You and I are in a parallel process, ready for what's next. Ready to move forward. Ready to sacrifice the fears. And become who you might be. Life has absolutely in no way gone the direction I thought it would, or like I designed 15 years ago, in any way whatsoever. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with this life or that I don't like it, appreciate it, I'm thankful for it, but this is not the me that I looked at the mirror and saw. So, in the Jungian sense, where you have to reintroduce yourself, I look in the mirror and I reintroduce myself to who is this guy. And I don't like that part of the sculpture. Now that I can see it in a different light, I'm gonna have to come back and work on it. After I get, is this thing? Shape-shifting, exactly. A lot of like-minded people in this room, I love it. Maybe the not like-minded people keep going, maybe that's it. Of the 120,000 people that have looked at me in the last month, the not like-minded ones are the ones that kept going. I'm like, that's cute, whatever. I'm gonna go look at somebody dancing. We summoning all the witches tonight. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I really like that sentence. We be summoning all the witches tonight. I'm gonna use that one too. I'm gonna use that one maybe in the gallery club. We be summoning all the witches tonight. Yes, we do. We be summoning all the witches tonight. JoJo shared with more than 5 friends. Good golly. You're hard working. Thank you. It's open to interpretation. Yes, it is. We be summoning all the witches tonight. Do you guys mind if I take a quick break? I'm going to shut down the stream for a second. Can I come back in like 1 minute? Anybody want to come back in 1 minute? Oh, we got people joining. I have got to take a break. 1 minute break. Oh. Do your thing, chicken wing. I'll be here. All right, I'll be back in just a second. All right, back again. If there's anybody out there in Magic Land. Magic Land. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Okay. Let's get into some sculpting. Ronnie's back. Ronnie's back. Ronnie's back. Ronnie's back. Wasabi. Yeah, I said it was only going to be a minute. That was fast. Exactly. Told you it was just going to be a minute. I don't want to be away from you. I missed you. A little bit. It is a really weird dynamic, weird relationship. This is all very weird, this thing we're doing. It's all very strange. Developing these relationships with this interesting fashion, right? Like, because there is attachments, right? We're designed to have attachments, and so there are attachments. So like, we're here. It's time to do this. It's 9 p.m. Central. Time to connect with my people in this simulated experience. This has never happened before. It's never existed, Old Bob Ross did some fun stuff, right? But he was just alone in a room talking. This is very, very different. I'm talking to people all over the world. I love when there's people from Australia, got people from Korea, South Africa, Romania earlier, tonight, Ukraine, all over. It's very, very cool. A lot of people right now. Hello, everybody. New York City. When do I feel she's complete? That is a tough one, but I do have an answer. For me, the internal metric is when I stop exploring. If I start if I find myself thinking I need to impress you, or I need to be impressive, I need to impress myself, then that's ego, and it's time to be done. But are you still exploring? If you're still exploring, you're not done. So I'm not quite done yet in that regard, and then I have a little bit of exploration left to do before I'll feel like I have explored this topic. It's not about level of finish at all for me. I could impress the hell out of you. I could sit here and start modeling frickin' skin pores, and wrinkles. I don't feel like that's what I want to do. I don't feel like that's exploration. I don't think that's what you want to see, right? I think one of the uniqueness of this medium is that you are aware of the fact that this is clay, yet it's manifested, it exists, it has an anima projection in your mind. But at the same time, it's clay. That has value. If I try to fool you into thinking it's real, I don't know. What's the point? Without you being a co-conspirator in the illusion, there is no illusion. For me. That's why I prefer gesture drawings over, say, hyper-realist. I'd rather look at an amazing 1-minute drawing than a really good 100-hour drawing. It's not a judgment statement about anybody else's work. It's about the experience that I prefer to have, which is to experience the gestural. So while I'm sitting here diddling this, and I am in some cases smoothing it out, that's because of specifically the impact of that smoothing out, how I think it makes the art work. Not because I'm trying to make it look more real. Well, thank you, everybody. Can we skip this song? So Rhodey's getting anxiety from this song. Oh my God, so much anxiety. I don't disagree. I think this is the squelching saxophone song. Oh, this is the Bohren der Club is the name of this band. Oh, I just got able to skip ahead to what's speakeasy ambience? I don't know. Is that any good? No, it's definitely lighter. I can't where I am. Well, wait a minute. You can't where you are. Tricklight, aren't you defining your life and reality right now? Where are you? You can't dance. Come on, girl. Where are you? Seriously, you can't dance? Are you sure you can't dance? I'm gonna put on Dead Can Dance in a second. I've been ignoring this foot entirely. Nobody's even called shenanigans on me that I haven't even touched this foot. No one's called me out and said, what's up with a foot, man? Or that foot, for that matter. I haven't touched that foot either. That hand is going to be a pain in the butt. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I got to get back in there. Get back in those fingers. I'm going to work on this foot right now because I don't want to work on the hand. I don't want to. At a BP service station. Is that an Australian thing? A BP? It's too loud. There is a magic that doesn't need to be seen, spoken, or explained. It lives in the way you exist. And yes, it's an oil-based clay. Thank you, Annabelle. Appreciate the positive vibe. Yeah, I'm tired of that hand. It's not right yet. I don't want to deal with it. I knew it was wrong. Did it anyway. I'm going to come over here and deal with this foot. It's going to be a challenge because that metal piece is right in the middle of it. Tay! Your phone died, but you were back. Where are you at, Tay? For some reason I have this inclination that you are somewhere like exotic, Indonesia, something like that, Philippines. Well, Washington State, okay. Okie dokie. Not Indonesia. Well, user, thank you for that feedback. I appreciate it. That was a positive, awesome thing to say. Because sometimes the now can be, the silence of the now can be deafening. So for you to hear the music over time helps me to deal with the silence of the now. All right, good night, lady. Or we'll see you later, lady, whichever it is. Small beach town in Washington. That sounds like the bomb. I mean, I've been all over the place, right? I've been all the big cities. New York and Los Angeles and Moscow and Tokyo, and I'm not just listing places I've been, I'm talking about places I've lived, basically. I didn't live in Tokyo, but I was there a lot for a few years. Had a company there. So that being said, I was just in Tokyo for a year and a half. Did basically live there. I did live there. Yeah, it's weird. So all that being said, beach town in Washington, man, I hope you're not talking smack about it because that sounds idyllic to me. I mean, I'm in a small place now. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri. Not super small. I mean, it's a big metropolitan city, a few million, but all in. But it's still small town mentality. Nice. Came in 79. You're going, so you're actually my age, lady. Approximately. Way in the sticks. Long Beach, Washington. We have less than 10,000 residents year-round. More vacationers. Very nice. Very nice. Bang, bang. Boom, boom. Hello, Danya. Colorado. Okay. Well, thank you, Christo Allen. It's pretty cool. That is actually a cool experience for me. Like, people are on the whole TikTok, which is attention deficit, theater. And like, when people see a glimpse of what I'm doing, they're like, oh, I want to check that out. Like, that's literally the only like validation I need. Okay. You decided to give me your time, whether it's 30 seconds, which the average is about 30 seconds. Some people are on for the entirety, multiple hours. I've had people watch me for 4 hours straight. I'm usually average at 30 seconds, which I think by TikTok standards is a millennium, very long time. But anyway, the point is though, like, the fact that you're giving me you, and by that I mean your time is in essence you exist only as you in time, and you're giving me you to watch me be me. I mean, not trying to get all esoteric, but that's some pretty cool stuff. I ain't trying to get esoteric, I don't know. I'm old, I get esoteric. Born and raised. Tie a gun. That's a good name. I like that name. That's one of my favorite parts of this, is learning about people's projected self-image. Seeing the names. That alone is interesting to me. I have to fly to LA tomorrow. I really don't want to. I don't want to go to LA tomorrow. I don't. I have to come up with a whole story in my head to make it be something I can do. Drive one direction in an hour and you're in the mountains. It's awesome. Columbus. Yeah, I gotta work up whatever it is. I gotta find my power animal to get on a plane tomorrow. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Really don't want to do it. It's gonna require some power animal shit, like I don't know. How long have I been doing this? Sculpting or this particular sculpture? Because Roni's not afraid to answer at least one of those questions. I started this January 7th and I'm sitting at like approximately 85 hours or something on this piece. I've been sculpting in some way my whole life, which is a real douchey answer that I'm not going to stick with. Started studying academically in 1994 when I went to art school in New York and started studying anatomy, figurative arts. Got to dissect at Columbia Medical School, or at least assist. I assisted the dissection. My anatomy teacher was the lead, obviously. I've been working professionally since I graduated in '98. I haven't worked in clay that much, honestly, since college. So college, I did a lot of clay work, but I haven't worked in clay. I've been working digitally, professionally, which, there are similarities. There is definitely crossover elements. I'm not going to deny that. It's also another animal. I love that we are at the point where we have a community that communicates between itself. That's pretty awesome. It's not just the Beau show, it's the you show. Hey, thanks for answering. You do such beautiful work from Australia. I made some Australian friends when I lived in Tokyo. affected me the rest of my life, for better or worse. You know, I think the thing, I'm going to go off on a tangent right now. If you guys want to talk about it, you can tell me. We can stop. But I think the thing about torture in cinema, in our entertainment, and I think the reason we're engrossed with it is that there's a certain aspect of it where we wonder about ourselves. How would I handle it? How would I handle that situation? I think there's a vicarious element to that. And I bring it up literally because I'm thinking about my time in Tokyo. It was basically torture. It was terrible. Completely, it was overwhelmingly isolating. Which I think is common for guys when they go there. Japanese people absolutely do not give a crap about you, which is hard to understand because when you first get there, like, they're so friendly, but that is entirely superficial. In fact, I had a Japanese comedian explained it in a way that totally resonated with me anyway. He said, coming to Tokyo is like going to Disneyland. Everyone you see is really happy to see you. And at the end of the day, they expect you to go home. So gaijin that stay in Tokyo are just, people just look at you like, why are you here? Go home. Like, they don't want you there. They don't like that you're there. You're sure as hell. The cliche is that you will not make Japanese friends as a gaijin. And it is true. You will not. If you do, it is entirely the exception, and there's always the question of, are they only your friend because they're trying to learn English? It was a debilitating experience to be in Tokyo. And I don't know if Aurora's still on. She lives in Tokyo still. I'm sorry, I haven't even been looking at the feed. I'm trying to make a flower. So anyway, yeah, living in Tokyo for me was torture. Now, I made very good friends there, people I'm very attached to. Roar was on earlier, very good friend. Mark goes by Nemo Japan. His wife, fantastic person. And of course the Romanians, fantastic people. So yeah, since you asked the question, I will answer it. The strange thing that I experienced in Tokyo is that people that go to Tokyo are phenomenally interesting. So I did not make any Japanese friends. I did not find any Japanese people to be of interest. I just didn't meet any of me like, oh wow, I want to know more about you. Every single one of the gaijin that I met, people from another country that came to Japan, were phenomenally interesting. So what I found is that people that were interested in going to Japan or going to Tokyo who came from another country were all just globe-trotting, interesting people. People that were from there were the least interesting people I have ever met. I stopped trying to make Japanese friends because they weren't interesting. Honestly, that's not a racist thing, that's just literally my experience. My experience in Japan is that the Japanese people were phenomenally uninteresting people. I think their culture has stifled the creativity and the joy in those people so much that there's really just no life left in your average Tokyo citizen. Like, they've really squashed the joy out of that culture so much that it's just hard pressed to meet anybody who was Japanese that had any joy in it. I'm totally off on a tangent. You guys are talking about other stuff. I do have one of my shirts on. Yes, I do. Who said that? Tay, yes. I don't know where the camera angles are. I love it. It's got the print on the back too. Print on the back, print on the front. The sweatshirt is my favorite. The white sweatshirt with the monkey on it is actually my favorite. I put a Nietzsche quote on it. I put a Rage Against the Machine quote on it. Oh yes, I'm that guy that combines those two elements. I put a Beau quote on it. But yeah, they're on the, so you can go to beau.art, which is a website, if you want to get down on any of these. They're on the TikTok. I have a TikTok shop, and I have just a Shopify. So my website is a Shopify. It goes to Printful, and I've been pretty happy with the Printful product. Been really happy actually with the Printful product. And I actually learned why. Printful owns all of their service bureaus. So they have a standard of quality that they control. The other print-on-demands, oftentimes they outsource and they don't own those venues. So it's totally random as far as quality. So there's a reason why the Printful is better, or is good, because they actually quality control themselves. And some of the others don't. I don't think, what is it, Beautiful or something, I don't know, whatever the other one is that's common, they don't actually own those service providers, so they don't have quality control. So yeah, I've been pretty happy with the results that I've gotten, both prints on paper and garments. Just don't think I'm going to answer your question, Franco. I just, you know, no, not even going to answer that. Are you Rodin? Yes, I am 250 years old. By the way, if you like Rodin, you should check out one of his students, Camille Claudel. Very sexy work. It's like, you look at it and you think it's Rodin, but there's something different about it, something powerful and feminine, and you're like, I don't know what I'm looking at. And then you're like, oh, it's actually not Rodin, and then you realize, oh, it's one of his students. And you know, many people obviously theorize they had a extensive relationship, and some people go so far as to say some of the sculptures that are credited to Rodin are Camille's. I'm not sure about that, because I think I can clearly identify the difference between the two. It's pretty obvious. They're different. They're similar, but different enough that it's like fairly obvious. But anyway, check out Camille Claudel. To use something for the shine. Yes, I do. So this is a Roma Plastilina oil-based clay, and for the shine is part of my process. I sculpt with heat. So I get the mass where I want it to be, assuming that the when heated, right, there's going to be a moment where when it gets liquid from the heat, that the surface tension will pull things together, and then the gravity will pull things down, right? So I kind of sculpt with the intention of then using heat as a sculpting tool. That being said, when it cools, it retains that shiny surface that it did when it was wet. So that's when you're asking me how did I make it shiny, that's how I made it shiny. I mean, there's a little bit more story to it than just shiny, but to answer your question, that's how I made it shiny. Medusa hoodies. I don't have a Medusa hoodie. If you want one, I'll make one for you though. Tay, I will make a Medusa hoodie for you if you're into it. If you're like old snakehead back there, snakeity snake. Yeah, I'll set one up on the site for you. Do you think black? I think black probably for Medusa. I think Medusa probably look good on black. I don't know. I'm gonna make it for you, Tay. So I think black. I mean, I'll set it up for both, but it's actually a lot of work to figure out like how to cope the graphic for white and black. I think I'll start with probably black hoodie. What do you think? Black, yes. Okay, you've spoken. I will do that. It's gonna take me a minute because I gotta fly to LA tomorrow, like I was saying. So I will get it like sometime next week. I'll get a black Medusa hoodie up for you. Yeah, I'll just put it in the shop and then I'll let you know next time I stream and you show up. I'll be like, wasabi, it's in the shop. Yeah, it's oil based. It's plastilina clay. That's the type of clay it is. What type of clay is it? It's plastilina. Sure it is. Let's begin to play the same. Oh yes, Joanna. It's red behind the many smear marks of where's the camera right now? Smear marks of clay. My glass is completely covered in clay smears. But yes, this is definitely a red wine night. Actually, every night. Every night with me is red wine night. I didn't even drink red wine until I got married. I wasn't into red wine. A lot of reaching upwards in Camille's work. That is a really good observation, Annabelle. Yes. Which I'm kind of doing a similar thing here. So man, maybe old Camille had more of an impact on me than I thought. Right? She did do a lot of reaching up. I don't actually know that much about her. I can't like give insight into her psychic state. You know, like who was she as a person? I don't really know. I mean, like I said, I know she was a student of Rodin. Came out of his studio. There was, you know, talk that they were each other's physical muse, but I don't really know otherwise. And some people pontificated that some of the things that were attributed to Rodin were hers, but other than that, I don't really know anything about her, other than I like her work. Thank you, Brendan. It's not working. I'm missing that whole bone structure right there. Dude, I used 2 different consistencies of clay, like a jabroni, and I'm still haunted by it. That's why your butt has a pattern, has a texture to it. I can't get rid of it. Right there, I'm running into it again. I'm trying to get this radius humorous thing going on here. It's all in humorous structure, and it's not. I'm running more into clay inconsistencies, pissing me off. So I like to keep it subtle. I don't want to sit here and model these things, but I want the gesture. I want my thumb to flow over it, you know, and feel it. I want the thumb to tell me. I want the fingers to tell me it's real. Fingers don't think it's real, it's not real. I think my wife's gotten used to it. That I will oftentimes just run my fingers over her body, which of course feels sensual and like I'm flirting with her, and I am, but You know, I think she finally put together that there's at least part of my brain that's saying, you know, how does this human feel? What is human contact? What is the structure? What are my fingers learning right now? What am I learning from my fingers that my brain and eyes don't know? And when I touch this, right, the sculpture, with my eyes closed or not looking, just let the fingers do this thing. It's like, am I touching clay or am I touching a human, right? And the fingers see so much more than the eyes. Oh, thank you, Revis. Absolutely, right? Faces. The face is a fantastic experience to take in tactily. Right? Kind of play the blind game, really take that in. What's really happening there? Because it's the same part of the brain. Right? If you lose a sense, your brain changes the wiring to accommodate. So if you actually were to go blind, your ears will attach to the same neural network as your eyes currently do to form the 3D model of your surroundings. Good night, Ronnie. Thanks for showing up. I will not see you till Monday, because tomorrow night I'm going to LA. Assuming I can get myself on that plane. Really freaking don't want to, but I'm gonna do it. I don't know, sometimes you just don't want to. Oh, sorry. Jaggy Bones, if you're still there. Sorry, I missed you there. When it cools down, there's two things that happen. One, I've added this petroleum product that permeates and kind of is like a little bit like a solvent. And then there's heat from my flesh, there's heat from, from my touch, and then there's heat from the torch. And then there's just general friction of the clay moving, producing heat while I'm moving it around. So what I'm getting at is, over time, the petroleum product absorbs in, the heat dissipates. So basically, if this is let sit still overnight, especially if it gets cold, it becomes pretty hard, pretty rigid. So, it changes. It definitely changes in its consistency. Hello, baby witchery. And Desiree. Is that a reference to the, oh, a lot of people just popped in here. Hello, everybody. Holiday. Thank you. And Tiosana, Taisana. Yeah, Desiree, is that a reference to Always Sunny in Philadelphia? It's a plastilina clay. Yeah, it's oil-based, not water-based. This definitely is not long-lasting. The clay will last forever, but in that it will live to become another sculpture. but it has to be cast into something else if you want it to be around. So like Rodin worked in clay like this, right? Then when he was done, he molded it and cast it in bronze. Yeah, I use this. It's cool. What do you do with it? Lost wax is an example of how you would get from this to bronze. What you would do for the lost wax is, at least in modern day, you would do a silicone mold of this. So you brush silicone on it and cut that into pieces around specific, geometrically structured locations so that you could pull it off. Before you pull it off, you would do a fiberglass backing to it that gives it rigidity with some keys to lock it together. You pull all that off, and then you would cast it in wax. So you would take the mold would be considered the negative. You'd make a positive, which would be a wax version of this. And then around that, you can pour the plaster. Then you get it hot, the wax will melt and fall out, and you can pour in your molten alloy like bronze. And then you can break the plaster off. It can survive the heat, but it's more fragile, right? So then you break that plaster off, and some guy named Bob is your uncle. Well, thank you. Well, I'm not really like a positive guy, not a motivational speaker. I'm not a guy to sit here and tell you that, you can do it. I think it's a crock of shit. I don't like those people. Kind of want to beat the living crap out of Tony Robbins. That being said, you telling me you can't think in 3D is also a crock of shit. So I'm calling shenanigans on you for saying you can't think in 3D. I'm saying you can. I'm saying you do. You do constantly. Your brain is a fantastic 3D processing machine. You're doing it a lot. Practice is one way to break through. But beyond practice, I think maybe you could probably benefit from questioning yourself. Why do you want to say you can't work in 3D? I would say this is more of a psychoanalytic moment. Why is it that you want to say you can't visualize and manifest 3D? Because I'm telling you, either way you're wrong, you can. The question is, why have you convinced yourself of that story? Now, I'm not going to say that you have whatever the elements are to become a fantastic sculptor. I'm responding to you saying you can't work in 3D, and I'm saying you can. You have a fantastic 3D processor moving constantly, using echolocation with your ears, your eyes, even your nose are constantly building a 3D model of the world around you. You absolutely can. I would say, I'm just going to go off on a tangent here because why not? It's my stream, damn it. I would say you're in a constant state of judgment. You're judging yourself. So your active observer, your ego is enacted in a negative fashion, which is judging the outcome of any given moment. And you're probably channeling some voice that you heard before, and you're trying to find a comfortable place for you to like you, or like the version of you in the moment. And it's more comfortable, or specifically less painful, to make a statement like, I can't visualize or work in 3D. Well, I'm telling you it's not true. So first of all, it's a false precept. You can. You do. You're just not accessing it. And I think recognizing why you feel the need to say that is a first step towards freeing your mind to be able to control how it works in 3D, rather than just being a passive experience. Make it an active one, which is a control mechanism. And you can do it. So don't come on my stream telling me you can't do something, because I'm going to go off on a lengthy diatribe, whether you like it or not. A big lump right here. I didn't even notice. You got like an ass tumor. This woman's butt is going to be the end of me. I put a lot of work into this butt. It's still not working. There's a reason why. It's not just comedic. There's a reason why. It's because I mixed two different consistencies of clay on accident. And so the other clay is coming through here. And it's totally a different consistency. So as I'm touching it, it's heating at a different rate. Becoming malleable and plastic at a different rate. Thank you, everyone. A lot of love coming. I appreciate it. Boom! I love your name. How long have you been on TikTok that you were the first person to try to get the name Boom? You've been around. I don't know, it's just a little arts and crafts user. Ask me what's this? It's a little arts and crafts I'm doing. It's a little something I'm doing. That's how I'm spending my nights. I like your response. I should take the leap and learn cello. Well, the only thing I'm saying different than that statement is if cello is your topic, which I'm not sure if you're completely joking or if you're serious, but is to take on the personal responsibility and not try to hide behind the ego statement of, oh, I'm not good at. That's actually an ego statement. Oh, I'm not good at, because you're trying to protect your ego by saying I'm not good at. You're trying to, and that's what we are. Our whole machine is designed to reduce pain. Everything that is us is about pain reduction. Our psyche is designed to reduce suffering and pain. It's painful. All this shit is painful. It is painful to learn. It is painful to grow. That's what this sculpture is all about. Self-actualization and growth. It is painful. It requires a knife. You gotta cut that. You gotta cut that to grow. Right? This stuff is hard. So, I'm not sure if you were joking or not, if cello is actually your thing, but if it is, you have to accept the fact that it's going to be a process and not, and I do it too, right? Like, I'm human. I'm not just preaching to you because I'm superior. I'll tell you what my weakness is, that I have done exactly what you're saying, is foreign languages. Like, oh, I'm not good at languages. Well, I know that's a crock of shit, but I catch myself saying it anyway. I became not fluid by any means. I was functional in Russian for a while. I had an office in Russia. I was never functional in Japanese, but I lived there for a year and a half. I got around, I dealt with bureaucracy, and I could read it and all that shit. Her skeleton is made of, where's the camera? This, 5/16 steel. So she's going nowhere. I had a bad experience once, about 20 years ago. I didn't put enough effort into a armature on a skeleton, on a skeleture. And ever since, I overdo my armatures, but in this case, I don't think I overdid it. I think I did the exact right amount of doing it. Like, this needed, I just didn't realize where I was going with this thing when I started. But at this point, it needs that much infrastructure. You're learning Scottish Gaelic, you're a badass. Jesus. Oh, this is Trick Light speaking. Woman, What is the deal with you? Can you, how many, you got a lot of onion skins, good God. I try to backtrack through these things to see if I missed anything. And I probably missed a few because it was scrolling. Someone drank all my goddamn wine. And I think it was me. I need tech support in my brain. Actually, I don't like that light position relative to the camera angle you're looking at right now. It's blowing it out. Let's move it up a little bit. That's a little better. At least it's not overlapping with shape so you can see it. Yeah. Thank you, Cindy Hayden. The one we just let, actually, I don't know, I actually like all these angles. I like this one the most if that metal bar wasn't there, like somewhere around. Actually, there I like a lot. I like that one a lot. And then the back one I think you were talking about, I think it might be the next angle. Yeah, this one's great. Really shows her back. Get the light on it. Yeah, that's a good right there. Light going down her rector spinae, the muscle on each side of the spine. That's a good one. You know what you need to do? You need to go to the stove and buy a big chunk of clay. And then you're a sculptor. Get a big chunk of clay and then you are a sculptor. Everything after that is incidental. And that's not true. That was a wrong statement. Everything after that is part of the process. There you go. Sorry. Better way of saying that. I was being flippant. Yeah, get the clay. All right, that's the hard part. Get the clay. I think there's a moment, right? And I had this conversation, and I had this little diatribe here on stream last week. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it at the end again. We'll see if it evolves to a new direction. I'm gonna need some wine for this. It's about the wisdom and knowledge of your hands. And I'm gonna explain what that means for me. When I'm lost and I don't know what to do, there's no answer. For me, it's stop thinking, let the hands move. The hands know the answer, right? Let your hands move, let the hands loose, and then sit and watch and see what your hands are doing, right? Are you trying to decide what major do you want to study? What business do you want to start? What job do you want to take? What do you want to do? What's the next thing in life? What are your hands doing? That is the question. When you're not thinking about it, when you're not thinking you can find an answer because you're so smart, what are your hands doing? So, I've done a lot of things. I've done software development and 3D and visual effects and animation, all these different things. And when I came back from Tokyo, it was like, what the hell am I gonna do next? And I just started, when I was in Tokyo, I started doing figurative work again for the first time on a regular basis. I never stopped doing figurative work, but it wasn't a daily thing. But when I came back from Tokyo, what am I gonna do next with my life? What are my hands doing? And the truth is, my hands have been doing this for several months now, right? My hands know what to do. So just do it. Watch your hands and learn what your hands are doing, and then engage your brain. And your brain will know what to do, but be honest, right? Like I could have gone and into more software development. I could have been doing AI research or blah 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 blah. It's not what my hands are doing. My hands weren't typing at a keyboard. My hands were pushing charcoal on a page. Or now it's pushing clay, right? My hands are doing that. Listen to the hands. Brain don't know shit. Well, it's not true. The brain can analyze from its perspective, but again, it's a suffering mechanism. Like I was saying earlier, we're always looking for how do we reduce our suffering. Our brain is the same way. You can't trust the brain. It'll lie to you. Because it's just trying to reduce suffering. Because that's what it's designed to do. I'm going to reduce suffering by changing the music. Oil-based clay, yes, to answer your question. Well, I have an answer for that. It's my answer, it may not be your answer. My answer is the difference between finishing and being finished is the delineator of when you're trying to engage ego. Are you trying to impress someone else or yourself? Are you trying to impress anyone, yourself or someone else? If so, it's time to stop. But if you're still exploring, if there's still a question you're trying to answer, if there's still a mystery to be solved, if there's a discovery yet to be made, keep going. But if there's not, if it's a reductive process where you are simply trying to reduce something that's there in order to create a more refined version of it, stop. You are no longer exploring. You are not moving forward. So with her, and I don't have the answers per se, but I'll tell you why I want to finish the fingers on this hand, right? And I'm not doing it because I want to impress you with my ability to sculpt fingers. I want it because I want you to feel, as an observer, to feel her grip on the knife. Her tactile experience of gripping this knife is actually narratively extremely important. So if you as the observer just see knife and say, oh, that's a knife, I get it, I'm done now, that's totally different than I feel her holding the knife because I can connect with that hand is speaking to me, I can see the tension in that hand, I'm empathizing with it. By doing so, now it's your hand, it's your knife. That's not something you get from from a casual lackadaisical presentation. So the hand, actually, I'm gonna make myself do a good sculpt of, even though I gotta get a weird angle to get those fingers, because I want you as the observer to feel her grip on the knife, her experience, because that's her experience, right? That's you connecting with her, and her experience is her holding that knife, you holding that knife. So that's important, right? All I'm getting at is your question of when you've done. I'm not there yet because I haven't explored it yet. That hand needs to be explored, for sure. Does this hand need to be explored? I don't think it does. I like that it's this messy, gooey shit that's, engulfed in the bird's flame. I don't think I'll do much to that hand, honestly. I think I'm gonna leave it a mess. This hand I need to sculpt in detail because, like I said, I want it to be a tactile experience for you. This hand, no. There's something about the gesture of this toe, this foot, that I want to get the toes in there to continue with the gesture. So yes, I'm going to refine the toes and the structure of this foot more. This foot, honestly, I'm really undecided. Like where I want to go with it. I don't know that foot where I want to go yet. I'm going to keep, but that's the exploration. I keep saying the exploration process. The exploration has not been answered yet. I don't know what I want to, how refined I want that foot to be yet. Anyway, I'm getting really diatribe. Thank you, Jordan. Good night, user. Yeah, safe travels. I appreciate it. I will be back Monday night. Going to the City of Angels tomorrow. Hopefully that doesn't mean heaven. I mean, it's not like I have anxiety or travel. That's not my thing. I just really freaking don't want to go back to LA. But I'm going to do it. I'd rather, sit here and rub my girl's clay butt. Rub my wife's actual butt. Anything over going to LA. I'm here for the diatribes. Nice, thank you, Tricklet. Wow, Y2K designer, I like your response. Yeah. I did not have an active model. I had a few photographs I looked at the beginning, kind of inspired me, and I literally had a, photo model of a girl with her legs crossed, right? And like, oh, that's inspiring. I'm gonna go that direction. But I'm pretty far away from that as far as pose goes and the body style and everything. So that's not, wouldn't call that reference. Facially, I brought up some images at one point. I was just getting inspiration from that actress Rebecca something or another, the one that played the mom in Dune. I kind of used a little inspiration from her, but again, not really. Probably the biggest influence on this is going to be my wife. Just, I look at her every day. This body is kind of pretty similar to her. She does have a pretty fantastic body, so I definitely was taking it in. I do take it in on a daily basis. But she didn't pose for me either. So these are all, influences, not reference. I love a Y2K designer. I love that you're saying that. Inspiring you is a lot of value to me. I'm gonna figure out as soon as I can, like next week, how I can let people like pre-order 3D prints of this. I think that's the direction I'm gonna go because a lot of people have expressed interest in that. So that's gonna be what I'm gonna try to get done next week. My wife is my muse. I actually take exception to that statement, and I'll tell you why. You're not necessarily wrong, but I don't like the word muse, at least not like I used to in my, my youth. I'm like, oh, I like it. I'm an artist. I have a muse. I like that idea. It sounds sexy, but a muse by definition is a projection, right? In the Jungian sense, it's a projection. It's not the real thing. It's a projection. And a marriage based on a muse relationship is hot. Any relationship, girlfriend, that's hot, right? That's hot stuff. But authentic relationship, which is, tough because a muse is, that's great, right? When you got a muse, it's like life is worth living. It's great. It's just not, a sustainable life, meaningful relationship. So no, my wife is not my muse, though that would be awesome, or is awesome experience to have. So if you're single and you've got, a partner of some kind, or not, you just have someone you want to make a muse, hell yeah, do it. Engage, do that. Have a muse, have that experience. It is endorphinerific. Yeah, I'm gonna cast this. Well, I'm actually pontificating doing a 3D scan and print, but the idea is I definitely want to go to bronze with that. It's not amusing to you? That's clever. I am not gonna paint it to answer that question. I agree with old Mickey Angelo, and he said that paintings want to be sculptures, sculptures do not want to be paintings. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fun, you blow my mind. I think that song was about Michelangelo, right? Holy smokes, what is happening? Oh, a lot on a hungo. Somebody just came through with some. They're gone already. Why isn't there only clay artworks on your page? Why isn't there other clay artworks? That is, well, I mean, that you're making an observation. There is no why. This is the first clay thing I've done in the last, since I started doing this last September. Everything you see on my store and all that, I've done since September. I've done a lot. I mean, I've done some anyway. And this is the first sculpture I've done since September. So it's the first thing you're seeing. I'm feeling very good about this experience though, to be honest. So I think we're staying here. I think I'm gonna do another sculpture after this. So probably like one more week on this girl. Just enjoying, just finishing, enjoying, no big hurry. Enjoying spending time with you guys. And then we'll move on to another sculpture together, right? Yeah, I've done a lot of considerations of what the next piece will be. Part of me just on a primitive level, it's like, let's go, okay, this is very feminine. Maybe the next one should be masculine. Maybe I should do a male figure for sure. I'm open to that. Maybe I'll do a male figure next, I don't know. But that being said, it's like, I don't know, I'm just really enjoying the shapes of female right now. As I'm rubbing her butt, I'm really enjoying the shape of female. That being said, maybe a male and female, maybe two figures. I'm a figurative person, so it's not like I'm gonna do a cockadoo bird next. I'm gonna do a figure. I think it's safe to say I'm gonna do a figure next. I don't know. I really like female figures right now. I don't know. It would take a lot to get me to not do a female figure, but I could also totally see getting into a male figure right now. I don't know. I was actually playing around. There's a piece that a lot of these things sit in my mind for frickin' years. And there's a piece that I envisioned with a male minotaur and a female figure and an infant. And I've been playing around with it as a painting in my mind, and the composition never worked as a painting entirely, so I never did it. I couldn't get the composition right, but it might work as a sculpture. Two, right? Should we take it up a notch? Should we take it up a notch and do two figures? I like your response. I don't know, that stimulated me. And you're like, yeah, two would be amazing. Thank you. This is not going in an oven. This is either needs to get cast, molded, or 3D scanned is what I might do. Definitely doesn't go into an oven. Absolutely not. This is oil. If this went into an oven, it would just turn into a puddle. Mythical female figures, the fates. Yeah, I mean, I kind of made this up. This definitely seems like a mythical thing you're looking at, but I made this up, right? This isn't an existing narrative figure per se. The phoenix obviously is very reminiscent of Greek mythology, but this female, this is not a specific, anyway, I should say, not a specific. What the fuck did I just do? God damn. This is not a specific figure. I think I'm really frustrated with the fact that I used two different consistencies of clay. That was a learning experience. So if you do happen to want a smooth surface, you're not gonna get it. What am I listening to? It's definitely a jazz. I don't know who the composer is. Sorry. Love the hair, thank you. Actually, you know what? Let's throw some heat on that. Maybe we can get that to melt into the underlying clay, and it'll hopefully even out. Being a pain in the buttocks. Like I said, I used 2 different consistencies of clay inadvertently, and it's causing a lump right there. God damn it. Still not. Damn. It's the old own worst enemy concept. You know, I'm looking at it. Thank you, egg tart. I'll spin it around. Somebody just asked me to see all of it. I'll give it a spin so you can see more of it. I got roses? Somebody gave me roses. I could use a rose. Make me feel good about myself. Actually, I don't understand that. Or you made it that way on purpose. I don't understand that one. I'm trying to catch up with what's been going on here. But I'm missing some of the context. Beau be getting tired. Beau got a big day. First off, I gotta go to LA tomorrow. I don't want to. You wanna go to LA for me? I don't wanna go. I don't want to. I don't want to. Long Beach. Long Beach. I haven't been to Long Beach in a long minute. Who said that? Thank you, Taryn. Gin Zero. Okay, I thought maybe I knew you. I have relatives in Long Beach. Actually, Laguna Beach. That's where they live, so I guess not. Thank you. I haven't been paying attention here for a second. South Missouri Ozarks, hello. Asria Jordan, I am in Kansas City. So being so close, you should know, if you like what you see, you're digging this. In about 6 months, I'm opening a art gallery nightclub here in Kansas City in the River Market area. So whatever it takes, follow or whatever, so that you know what, you can come back. I will fill you in as that becomes a reality, because it's going to be cool as balls. If that's a term you use to describe something that's good, it's going to be, I think it's going to be really exciting. So, good morning, EV Art. So you are, where is morning right now? I think morning is somewhere over Greece, France, somewhere mid-Europe is morning. Need some more massaging. Yeah, absolutely. So whatever, do the follow thing so that I can keep you informed, because yeah, like in about 6 months, and I think it's gonna, we're gonna open, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's gonna be an interesting experience. So it's an enormous building, 23,000 square foot facility. All right, just to visualize that, 23,000 square foot. And the first floor is gonna be 150 feet of video wall that I'm making. It's gonna basically be animated video wall, experiential kind of stuff, super cool. The second floor is gonna be performance, where Monday through Thursday I'll do my stream from there. Saturday and Sunday will be like live band stuff. So that's gonna be super cool. And that's just 2 floors. There's also 2 other floors we don't even have in works yet. Wow. Well, thank you, Senva. Things do get exciting here around this time of night. It sucks because I need to go to bed. I had a big ass day. I'm normal responsibilities as a kid, but then I gotta freaking fly to LA. I wanna go to LA. Anybody gonna say anything inspiring to me that's gonna get me the motivation to go to LA tomorrow? Performance art, exactly. Being a grown sucks. Tacos! I like your response. Oh my god, tacos sounds awesome. I don't use any taco place open close to me right now. I would get in the car and go get a taco right now. Oh my god. Taco sounds the bomb. Yes. Taco. Taco. No motivation for tomorrow. Yeah, I get you. I don't have it. I don't have it. Oh, it's 1 a.m. I need to take my ass to bed. Reasons to come to Los Angeles. Sorry, Jinzi, are you in Los Angeles? Well, I guess you're the person that just said you were in not Laguna, in Long Beach. Yeah. Trickle, you need to. Oh, you're in Australia, right? What time is it in Australia right now? I gotta find it. 4 p.m. Thursday here. Yeah, you're similar time zone to Japan. Yeah. Japan's 13 hours ahead, which would be 4 p.m. Yeah, you're in the same time zone as Tokyo. Yeah, I've heard that it's a poop storm of rain in LA right now. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take my ass over here. I'm gonna click a button. I'm gonna say goodnight to you awesome people. I'm gonna make myself go melatonin myself to sleep. And do all that stuff. Oh. Love you guys. Thanks for showing up. It has been a pretty fantastic night. Always appreciate it. I will see you Monday night. Not tomorrow night as usual. Usually I do Thursday nights, but I'll be here Monday night. So y'all do the following thing so you can come back and you can hear me diatribe more about nonsense and nightclubs and whatever. Good night, Tricklight. I appreciate you. I pray for you. Actually, kind of mean that. Like, I don't mean that in the total whatever. I don't. Okay, I don't have anything to do with another diatribe. Good night. And we'll chill out on Monday night. Good night, everyone.